Good morning, guys. I woke up this morning and I found part of a loaf of bread that's about to go bad. So what do? You throw it out? Well, there's a couple things you can do. You can piece it up and throw it out to the birds because it is winter time. You can take this and you can make up what I'm going to do is French toast. I'm going to take those, make them up, do them as French toast, and then I'm going to put all that in the freezer. And then all you have to do is warm it up a little bit in the microwave or put it back in either an oven or in the skillet. Warm it up for a few minutes and you are ready to go. So let's get started. First thing you need is some eggs. You're going to scramble them up like you're going to make scrambled eggs. And then you're going to need some cinnamon. And preferably a flatter bowl to put your eggs in. Or put your bread and your egg and all that stuff in. Alright, take a piece of your almost stale bread, stick it in there, flip it over, and then carefully put it into your pan. Let that cook on both sides for a couple minutes until it gets a little bit toasty. You see how it's starting to brown a little bit on the top? You can do that on both sides. Alright, as you can see, I've got a stack. There, like I said, there was about a half loaf of bread. So I've got a stack. So when these get cooled off enough on both sides to where you can touch them with your fingers, you can either put them back in the bread sack that you got the bread out of, or you can put it in a plastic baggie and put it in the freezer for later. Alright, just a heads up. I had to use 6 eggs altogether. I diluted it with a little bit of milk. I didn't want to waste it, so I waited till I got down to the end of this bowl before I added anything to it. You also could put in some maple syrup flavor or maple flavoring if you're going to use these for, like, say, breakfast sandwiches later. If you like eggnog, instead of using a little bit of milk, you put just a little bit of eggnog in there to give it flavor. Okay, while the last one is cooking, and they do cook really quick, this is something that you will pay for in the store where it's just the sticks. You can do that before you put them in the freezer. And just so FYI, guys, you pay for the convenience if you buy it in the store, but you can make these yourself. Okay, so we have a stack. This all came out of the bag. Now, this may not be freezer proof, but it is all that you have. That is fine. If you're like me, you're probably going to have family members that are going to go through it pretty quick. So it doesn't matter if it stays in the freezer because it's not going to stay in there very long. But you're going to do just like the loaf. Just stick it back in the baggie. And it makes a loaf again. And then you just pull out what you need as you need it. Now, if you've got parchment paper or something you can stick in between these, saran wrap or anything, that's good too if you don't. Or aluminum foil, even if you have aluminum foil, where you can cut it up into pieces and put it in between there so they don't kind of stick together when they're frozen. That's good too. If you have a freezer bag, I would suggest a freezer bag. These are going to stay good in the refrigerator or freezer, not refrigerator, in the freezer for about 6 months. So instead of throwing that bag away, either throw it out to your birds for wintertime. You can make these French toast sticks for the kids, something convenient. With these, you could even make up some sandwiches with egg and cheese and different things in there and then pop it in the microwave and away you go. Remember, you can also add maple flavoring to these, or instead of a little bit of milk, a little bit of eggnog for the season. Whatever it is your preference is. Just make sure that they're cooked thoroughly before you put them in the freezer, of course. And then you don't want to cook them thoroughly. You want to cook them so that the egg is cooked, but you don't want to do them too dark, because if you put them back in the oven or if you put them back in the pan, they're going to get overly dark. You don't want them to be burnt. So remember, you are loved and you are worthy. I hope that this was a hack maybe for you and helped you out. Enjoy your season, and I'll see you next time.